They've just dropped the puck for the final game of day number 1 of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWeeAAA Hockey Championships from the Halifax Forum. Good evening, everybody. Dan Hobson. Delighted to have the call for this one. Our producer is Neil Gordon, running the camera just down below me. It is the Blues, the defending champions, taking on the hosts Hawks. The Hawks lost earlier in a game that was pretty close. They got down 3-0 and then lost by a score of 4-3 to go 0-1, and they need this one here to keep even at 1-1 and try to keep up with the rest of the teams. And right now, West Hants, as a result of their 7-1 victory over the Sydney Steelers, are in first place. Tassa Ducks in second, and then the Glace Bay Miners in third. That's where we stand right now. Bedford Blues, of course, the defending champions of this event, silver medalists from the Atlantics last year. Mumberket coming in, gets a shot away. First test there for Albert, who's getting the starting net. Nicholas Albert, the starting goaltender for the Bedford Blues. And Eric Lynn getting the start here for the Halifax Hawks. I was talking to Tyler Dixon before their first game today, and he was saying that probably could be Fury for most of the game, but after giving up 3 goals in that first period, they're going to go a hunch and give Lou a chance here. Minette has been their goaltender most of the season, but he is not with the team here. And, of course, we'll get to those not with the team as the Blues have a little bit of some scratches and changes they want to pass along. Amira will be wearing number 18, and Rachel Walsh number 3, and Isaac Storm number 17. It will be dressed here for them, and nothing really much in terms of lineup changes besides what we talked about with Eric Lou in the nets as we come up to 2 minutes gone here in the first period. Here is Walsh there with the puck there, and she'll send it there to the far side boards. Glad you can join us wherever you're watching here on 360 Live. Emmanuel with a burst of speed. Lost the puck in the process. A nice little check there. Beautifully done there by Emma McIntyre there for the Hawks. Puck frozen in the corner. Hawks fighting it. Of course, these teams no stranger to each other. They met each other 4 times in the regular season. The teams play in what is called the Central Minor Hockey Federation. You could also maybe say the AKA the Metro HRM version. And we'll go over that just after this. Potential rush has a shot, and a save there by Lou. As driving towards the net, there was Cohen Miller there for the Blues. And a nice effort there by McCarron to get it going there. Also keep an eye on Millett, number 15, having a pretty good season. And he did very well at the Buster Harvey tournament most recently. Actually, it was held in the fall, my apologies. Had 2 goals and 2 assists. So keep an eye on number 15 in the blue and yellow here this evening. And for the Halifax Hawks, Finn Merritt, of course, had 3 goals in that tournament. And Jack Mumberket, a couple of the offensive players you got to keep an eye on here. In this one, there's another stop there by Lou on a point-blank shot by the Blues. Hawks feeling the pressure. They'll just flip it out and get it out the center ice area. Too far there for Arnold there for the Hawks. Sent back in. It will be icing. So let's talk about the history between these teams. Bedford versus Halifax. And it's been a split series here. The Halifax Hawks won October 30th by a score of 4-2. And then the teams met in December just before the Christmas break. Bedford skated away with a 7-4 victory. And then they met 2 times in January. And it was Bedford 3, Halifax 1, and then Halifax won the last one on the 27th, 7-3. So split here, so this is pretty well anybody's game up for grabs, the defending champions and the host. Talking about the Blues regular season, defending champions, as I mentioned, second in the Central Minor Hockey Federation. They had an 18-7-3 record, and the Hawks were 6th in that same league, 12-15-1, good enough for 6th place. So now you know the teams have history. They know each other, so there shouldn't be any surprise factor between the teams. As Arnold comes out, gets over center ice and dumps it in and gets a much-needed change here for the Hawks as we come up to the 4.5-minute mark here in the opening period. Amiro now. Evan Amiro going wide. Centers it there. It's in a bunch of skates there. A big swing there by the Blues player right on the doorstep. That was LeBlanc. Swung and missed. Luckily there for Lou, where he could have had an easy tap in to make it 1-0, but it remains scoreless now, as the Blues will go back into their own zone. Manning worked out, but he lost the puck actually, but Sangster was there to recover, but they turn it over just near the blue line. And speaking of turnover, here's Sangster now with a turnover, wrist shot, and getting a piece of it there was Lou. Might have hit it with the knob of his stick. Bursey wristed in, gets a change here for the Hawks as we pass the 5-minute mark here in the opening period. Better start here for the Hawks because they gave up goals pretty early, and they were just really in catch-up mode from early on in that first period, and they almost made a game of it. They had a better second half of the first period, and then the second period was theirs, but just ran out of time and unable to get the tying goal, and lost by 1 goal to the Glace Bay Miners. So, of course, as you say, they can put that one away, and they look a little bit better. Albert went down to smother the puck, but it didn't come to him. And the Blues in transition. Jewett now hits the middle of the ice. Wrist shot hits the shin guard of the Hawks player, and this will allow McDougall a chance to clear quickly up here to Bishop. And Bishop had Legier going towards the net, and Legier unable to pull the trigger. Bishop looking for the loose puck, and the pass is picked off before he could get his stick on it. Nice little feat there as the Blues get it out. Hits the linesman, unlucky for them. This will be sent back in by Legier right on to Albert, and he easily leaves that aside as the Blues trying to get organized in their own zone. The pass picked off by Mumbercat. Mumbercat trying to spin away, and luckily enough avoided his own player in the process. With speed, Miller now, wrist shot, and that's stopped by Lou as he got all of that one and left no rebound, and that's really important for Lou to not leave any rebounds here. The team has responded since Lou has gone into the net. They started the game with fury, and Lou has came in and has put out the fire there, and it's only really allowed 1 goal, so you got to go with a hot hand here at the tournament. They were expecting Fury for a long run. Not the case. Lou getting the start here in game number 2 for them today. LeBlanc cuts towards the middle, lost the puck. Here's Mumbercat for the Hawks, but he can't get it out. Mathers sends it in behind the goal. Up for it there is number 15, Wagner there for the Hawks. And now here's McMinn now. Sends a rink-wide pass. Mumbercat there. Well checked as there were 3 blue jerseys draped over him, and one of them was Buffett. And Buffett's now going for the puck there for the Blues. Cameron Buffett, solid defenseman from what I hear. There's a weird bounce, comes out front there, and Arnold was licking his chops, but before he could get a shot, it's steered out of harm's way there by the Blues on a bad bounce. Rolls into Lou. Blues make changes. Almost got caught with too many men, and Raphael, the goal, he had 1 of the 3 goals for the Hawks and their loss against the Glace Bay Miners, sends it in. It goes in behind the net. Blues not happy with the traffic, so they're going to try to get a mural going here for the Blues, and nice tape-to-tape pass to Sangster now. 1-on-3 going wide. Sangster now sends it there. There's a little bit of a bouncing puck. And recovering now is Ross there for the Hawks. He'll send it to the far side. Too far of the reach there of McIntyre. But there is Arnold once again. And they'll chip it out to center ice area. Rachel Walsh tried to hit Amiro from behind there with the pass as he got in behind the defender. But he was offside, so it was delayed offside. So the Hawks were allowed to continue. If he could handle that pass, he would have had a good room to move and get a good shot. Amiro now bounced back in, and once again the Blues make changes. Past the halfway point there. Be precise, 6.5 left to go here in the first period. No score between the Blues and the Hawks here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships on 360 Live. Dan Hobson delighted to have the call. Final game of the day, of course, busy day for all teams tomorrow. We'll tee up that schedule later on in the broadcast. And as I mentioned, the West Hants Warriors in first place, depending on the result of this one. Team that wins here, this one must get, and I repeat this, goals for will determine, of course, whether you're first or fourth if you win. But the winning team must get 8 if they want to have first place. That's how things have gone today. Toss the Ducks in their win over the Pictou Crushers. They got 6. West Hants Warriors got 7. Lou there had to make a couple of nice saves there. He left a big juicy rebound there for Miller. No harm, no foul. Still, once again, no score. A couple of Hawks players elude each other. And now Raphael puts on his Jets. Centering pass, perfect pass, wrong team. Marquette loses his stick, so allows the Blues to get something going in transition. But they get out to center ice. Marquette picks up his stick. Was trapped inside the line, so he couldn't play it, so the Blues have some room, and they'll send it to an open wing. Too far for LeBlanc. Good pace to this one here. Nothing in terms of penalties. You got to like the pace, the up and down. Pretty good hockey here at the Halifax Forum to wrap up day number 1 of the championships. Couple of teams, they know each other, so the thing is, there's no surprise factor. Here's Storm, Isaac Storm. Joking with, of course, Greg McDonald, the head coach of the team, and I said, that's a great hockey name, Isaac Storm. Number 16. There's a wrist shot from well out there by Chandler, and that's stopped by Lou, and he'll get the stoppage in play, but you gotta like the pace so far of this one, don't you? Up and down they've gone, and nothing in terms of power plays so far in this one. So even though it's a 2 versus 6 in their league, you can see that there's definitely the history of the 4 matchups with the teams taking 2 from each other. It's showing right now. Really stellar play so far here in the opening period. Evan Amiro left a drop pass, but he put it right onto the stick of Ross. And now on the attack is the Hawks. They'll send it in. They'll get a partial change started there, but really nothing much in terms of shots on goal to really talk about so far. They don't keep track of it here, of course, at the Pee-wee level, but really nothing much. It's but definitely exciting end to end and a good one here to wrap up day number 1. Walworth was sort of handled, but he hassled there, but he does manage to get the pass out, and the Hawks will send it down the rest of the way. And a chop there by Jewett there. And they're going to call that on the icing and bring it back. On the icing call. I thought Jewett might have got a stick on it, but it doesn't look like he stopped it enough, so they'll bring the faceoff down into the blue zone. 3:22 left to go in a fast-paced first period here from the Halifax Forum. Along the near side boards. Miller got it in, but they hit his stick, so the Hawks end up come up with the puck. And now they get the center ice as it's flipped in. Looking around is McCarron there for the Blues. And picking off is Legier there for the Halifax Hawks. Centering pass, but right onto a blue stick and out of harm's way for the meantime. Here come the Blues once again. They get just inside the blue line, but it's quickly back out. And the Hawks were hoping to get on their horse to get going and get something going in transition, but not to be happening. Miller again. Leaves it at the blue line. Pass there to McCarron. McCarron wrist shot. Pad save there by Lou. Lou did excellent work there. He used his body, his neck to get around and look through the shin guards to see that pass. Or see that shot, pardon me. Miller, wrist shot. Lou with a save. Left a juicy rebound. They try to do the no-look pass to LeBlanc, who was on the doorstep. LeBlanc will now go after it here for the Blues. Takes a light rub there. Of course, no checking here in the Pee Wee League. And Fitzpatrick has to be careful with that one as he sends it in, but he blows a tire and it comes out front. But the Hawks all back there. Here's McKinnon. He had a goal in their game against the Glace Bay Miners. Trying to get going. He's trying to go through 2 blue jerseys. And, of course, you see the result as he didn't get a shot there as the numbers game really hurt him. 1 minute and 39 seconds left to go here in the first period. And could be in for a rare first as we've had goals after the opening 15 minutes of play. But right now, the way these teams are going, not much going on offensively. Good end-to-end, but nothing in terms of a dangerous scoring chance so far. Hawks hoping to change it right now, but it's picked off by the Blues. And back they come the other way, led by LeBlanc. Looks around, looking for some help. Chandler driving towards it. A shot, scores! So there goes that little dream of not any goals in the first period as the Blues strike first. And it's Isaac Storm. Isaac Storm gets things going here for the Bedford Blues. The lead 1-0. And you can pretty well put that goal within less than a minute left to go in the first. And just to think that he was the walk-on here. William Kanelikos, who wears number 17 usually during the regular season, is having a nice little March break as he's on a cruise. In the meantime, Blues coming back the other way. Shot! Lou with the save as Emmanuel turned on the Jets. Late stages of the period, 20 seconds left to go. Almost made it 2-0. Isaac Storm with the goal. Minute and 5, the time left. This is the time that one went, so 13:55 the time of the goal. As the horn goes to end the opening period, good end-to-end action, and the Blues get rewarded, defending champions on the board, thanks to the stick of Isaac Storm. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after these words from our local sponsors. And welcome back to the Halifax Forum. Second period, just seconds from getting underway. Late stages of the first period, Isaac Storm scored there for the Blues to give them a 1-0 lead. And we are underway. Period number 2. Getting to that situation there for the Hawks, it is definitely a must-win. You don't really want to start the tournament 0-2, but that could be the reality of this. The defending champions, of course, silver medalists at last year's Atlantics. They were in Edmundston. As that rolls into Alberton, he'll cover up there for the stoppage and play. Lost to the Northwest Warriors out of Edmundston, the home team that hosted the Atlantics. So the Blues want to get to the Atlantics. Of course, the Atlantics this year are going to be held in New Glasgow, April 4th to 7th. And 360 Live will have coverage of those championships. Michael Patter, the voice of the Pictou County Crushers, will have the calls for those games. And we have our first penalty, and it is a tripping call. And it's going against McKinnon. McKinnon off for tripping at 38 seconds. So a Bedford Blues power play. And it's going to be brought to you by Atlantic Acura. Miller is even asked to leave the face-off circle before he can even get real comfortable, so Millet will take it here for the Blues. Hawks win the draw, but takes a bad bounce as it hits one of the advertising boards there. The Newbridge Academy advertisement, and stays when it should have maybe gone down. So a little bit of lady luck not on the side here of the Halifax Hawks here on the Bedford Blues Atlantic Acura power play. So going back on his own zone is Cameron Buffett, and linesman will blow play down. Just a minute and 6 gone here in the period. Draw will be inside the blue zone. The Hawks will take that. Just 28 seconds gone in the penalty to McKinnon, who's off for tripping. Blues will break 4 here on the attack. Sangster has his pocket picked, and the Hawks get it just inside the blue line. And now here the Blues are in transition. Amiro now. And he leaves it there for... And scoring there was Chandler. I was looking down and looking at number 9. It's like Perrier's not in the lineup today as a scratch. He's supposed to be playing tomorrow. But it is an Atlantic Acura power play goal for the Blues. And it makes it 2-0. Chandler with the goal. So it's getting to be like deja vu all over again. The Hawks got down early in their game against the Glace Bay Miners, and they fought back and lost by 1 goal. Now they've got to pretty well do the same thing over again. And it's like they played a better first period that just didn't get much in terms of offensive chances. And you could say they didn't really get much in terms of luck. Emmanuel goes down before he could get something going offensively for the Blues. McCarron there's pass, trying to hit Millet. Unsuccessful. Mumbercat falling up there, trying to set up Arnold. Arnold was on with his back towards the play, more or less. Now he has the puck. Centers there for Mumbercat, but boy, he puts it in a maze of sticks and skates. And at the end of the day, McCarron comes up with the puck there for the Blues. Matthew McCarron, defenseman, dumps it in. The Blues make changes so the Hawks can get a long lead pass and get something going offensively. Here's McDougall. Pass too far out of reach there for Arnold. The Blues back defending. Greg McDonald, as usual, the head coach of the Blues, pretty loose before the game. And sometimes, of course, your players and your team, have the personality of your coach. And as I say, Greg McDonald pretty relaxed, loose. And if you're tense, your players play tense. If you're loose, you play loose. And you can see that the Blues are... they know that it's going to be a tough task to be, back-to-back provincial champions with the field that is here, the Ducks, as well as the West Hants Warriors. So they know that. A shot from well out there by LeBlanc is stopped by Albert. So they know what has to be done. Play back underway here at the Halifax Forum. It's the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWeeAAA Provincial Hockey Championships on 360 Live. Dan Hobson along for the call. And as you see, Neil Gordon, well, you may not be able to see Neil Gordon scores! That's what they needed! Mac Bursey. Turnover down low. Sorry, Neil, we'll get your name in there. Neil Gordon, of course, doing camera, providing you the pictures and sounds here for the Halifax Forum. And it's 2-1. And that's what the doctor ordered. As Staying Alive comes into the building. Perfect song for them. They gave up the next one. It might have been Kearns, but now they're staying alive, keeping it 2-1, making it 2-1. Kind of interesting. I bet if you probably went and you probably surveyed the players here in this game, if you asked them who the Bee Gees were, they probably look at you with a nice long look that's like, what? It's 2-1. Just past 7 o'clock here on the East Coast of Canada. Dan Hobson, delighted to have the call here on this one. 2-1. The teams went end-to-end at a good, exciting pace, and then the Blues scored late in that period. And it was scored by Isaac Storm. And Chandler scored there to make it 2-0, and the Hawks responded with Birchley. So a couple of aces. Albert comes out and smothers the puck as the Hawks here are starting to put a little pressure on, looking for the equalizer. A lot has happened here, and we're just 1 second shy of the 4-minute mark gone here of the second period. I said earlier in the day that I think that this might have been a main event caliber hockey game. Of course, the Hawks had a close one against the Mariners to start the championships at dinner time today, but teams that know each other's fifth time that they've met here in the season, whether you talk about regular season and tournaments, the fifth time, and the team split 2 apiece, so it's really anybody's game. Follow a bouncing puck. Albert looks one way, the puck's the other. Wrist shot, hits a shin guard. McDougall tees it up, that hits bodies, and the referee lifts his legs sort of like a pelican to get out of the way of that one. They try to feather it through, but it's knocked down there by the Blues, so I'm telling you, whatever Tyler Dixon says to his team in between periods, you might want to start, publishing the stuff, because they just seem to be a different team every time the second period comes out. They have a little bit of jump, a little bit of spirit, and they're taking it to the Blues right now. Trailing this game, but they're coming close. Oh, look at the chance. Marquette had a wide open crease, but the puck trickles by him and goes towards the corner. Arnold now. Centering pass. Marquette. Backhand. Doesn't get through. Jewett gets in the way of that one. He actually bumps one of his own teammates. And also one of the players was Raphael going down for the Hawks. He's quickly up. Nice pressure here, but Marquette line has been dangerous pretty well so far. The championships, the second game, I know, for the Hawks, but they had the pressure against the Miners earlier. Miller not happy with that pass. It's too far out of his reach, and the Hawks will get a fresh 5 out there. Same for the Blues, icing the call. 9:19 left to go here in the second period. Ben Bishop, not the goaltender there for the Stars, of course, taking the draw. The Ben Bishop of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Pee-wee hockey, to be precise. I know people saying, yeah, you're funny. I'm sorry, it's best you get. Those comics and comedians, they can come up with jokes just right quickly. It seems to be a struggle for me, but anyway, play continues on. The Blues getting back in offensive mode here. They were on their heels for a good minute and a half there of this second period. And the Hawks get possession of it again. They'll send 2 to center ice. One of them is Bishop. There's Bishop now making a nice move. Oh, nice defensive play by Rachel Walsh there. And it just gets outside the line. Back come the Hawks. McKinnon there, fans on it. And a steal there. Has come out with a puck there. Who was Amiro there. Here's LeBlanc now. LeBlanc has Emmanuel with him. The shot there. And Lou thought he might have steered it towards the corner, but it was right there loose and up for grabs. A close call there as he lost sight of it, but he had some help there from his teammates there. Smothers it for the whistle. Blues here trying to maybe get a nice little bounce back shift. They got the powers out there to do it. When I mean powers, they have Cameron Emmanuel, number 2, as well as Sangster. out here, but it's the Hawks that come up with it. 1-on-2. And going wide, there's Fitzpatrick. Actually, Ross, my apologies. Ross, number 17. Trying to get it back to McDougall. They'll actually put a centering pass to nobody in particular. And comes out the other side to the far side boards. Merritt now. That's steered aside by the stick there by Albert. Of course, Arlo Merritt played Major Bantam, so for the XL Hawks, who are going to the Atlantic Championships, and they're going to be hosted there by the Gulls out in St. Margaret's Bay Arena. Looking forward to those championships. Merritt did very well in Major Bantam. Wore number 12, and Finn wears the same number 12 here for the Pee-wees, and he'll go off for a change. Blues little loosey-goosey with the puck, but it's going to be Legier that comes up with it. Legier cuts, drives, and he gets a shot. And he was trying to go top shelf where Grandma keeps the peanut butter, but the peanut butter is all gone as it was nothing there at that time. Blues happy to find the hole and send it down. It will go right to Lou, and Lou will just leave it aside, so there will be no icing as we play on, as there's 6.5 left to go here in period number 2, slapped in there by Millett of the Blues. Millett now kicks it up to his stick. Decided to go back with it, so now they'll get something organized. The pass there too far for Bell. Jackson Bell goes down. Jewett now dances along the blue line and in. Jewett wrist shot. Well off the mark. Blues keep it in. Nice little play there. By McCarron. And it's sent down. Blues trying to get the Hawks caught on a change here. And they were just unsuccessful and couldn't get the pass going. And the whistle stops play here at the Halifax Forum Thursday night. Of course, they had the Mayor Mike Savage, Q104's Bobby Mack here doing the opening ceremonies. And of course, had a youngster singing the national anthem. So, and the lights and the smoke and everything. As I said, I don't know if people were with me for the opening ceremonies, but you know, this league, when they all come together to put on these provincial championships, as well as Hockey Nova Scotia, hats off for doing such a great job. They have that, you know, the players are the stars mentality, and it's just a fun atmosphere. There's been here 3 of the last 4 years. Oh, there's Albert there. He left a big, juicy biscuit there in the blue ice going away on that backhand, and goaltenders will tell you, backhanders are hard. So, yeah, kudos to all the leagues come together to make those opening ceremonies as well as the player intros as special as they are. Amiro. Arnold has it now for the Hawks. Takes a light bump there. Walsh there doing a great job playing one-on-one D. Rachel Walsh wearing number 3. Referee right there telling Yellow to play it. Centering pass, and that doesn't get through as Millett gets his skate there in the nick of time there for the Bedford Blues. Nice pressure here once again by the Hawks. Mumberket from a sharp angle on the save there by Albert. And the Blues just happy to send it down, and once again goes right. And a nice smart play there by Lou. He was going to come out and play it and then saw, hey, this is not on net. I'm just going to let it go through and get an extra 200 feet for my team on the icing call. Of course, unlike Major Midget, no penalization of players, so teams can make changes on icings here at these championships. 4 minutes left to go here. An exciting hockey game here from the Halifax Forum. 2-1 the score. The Bedford Blues leading the Halifax Hawks. Wherever you are, hope you're enjoying the game here on 360 Live. Hawks trying to get organized. The pass there for Ross. Ross goes down. players starting to look like bowling pins at the bowling alley on a Friday night as they were going down. Lots of timber going down. Millett now making a couple of nice little moves with the stick. Wrap around. Lou right there shuts the door for the meantime. Mathers has the puck now. Didn't have anything. Was trying to send it to an open corner. It's right in the middle of the slot area. And the Blues can't get a shot. And on the attack come the Hawks, led by Ross. Ross coming down the opposite wing. Centering pass. Tried to hit. Merritt now. Merritt in behind the net. Comes out to the near side boards once again. The Blues have a little bit of room, but they decide to go the other way with it. Here's a foot race and the cycle game coming into effect, and the Blues just going back and forth in their own end. And now they break out with Sancture towards center ice area as it's dumped in, and they'll start a change. McKinnon now loses a puck. And now with speed coming the other way is Miller. Miller cuts across the blue line. Nice little stick. Had a couple of line mates trapped in there, so it's going to be sent in there by McCarron. Laid offside. They're now onside and ready to start the forecheck. As we have 2:20 left to go here in the second period. 2-1. Game came in as probably main event status, and it has lived up to its expectations. That rolls into Albert, and he'll cover up. Well, the stoppage and play. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left here in period number 2. 7 games coming your way tomorrow, and we'll be here first thing 8 o'clock in the morning. Sydney Steelers, Tassa Ducks. Ducks with the win. The Steelers have a tough one against West Hants. That's how we'll start tomorrow. Offside the call. They'll bring it back outside the line. Well, I know that probably some of the folks here watching probably want to know when's the next time that the Blues play. The Blues will play at 12 p.m. against Pictou. And for Halifax, they'll have West Hants. Key to that one there, West Hants, is keep William Shields off the score sheet for less than 5 goals. He actually had 6 in that 7-1 win over the Sydney Steelers. He had 49 goals in the regular season, William Shields, so definitely a player to keep an eye on and to see how they actually shut him down, these Halifax Hawks. They know what he did earlier, and they know what he's done in the regular season for their league. And he's a triple threat. That's the word I'm looking for. Triple threat. Got speed, got a great shot, and size to boot. Really tough to defend. And that's really why he's having such a success that he's having here at the Pee Wee level. Mathers tries to send that in there for the Blues. It's the Hawks that get something going now with Arnold. Trying to hit Raphael. Last minute of play here in the second period. Walsh going to join the rush here for the Blues. She puts on the brakes. Now a puck here. Here's Armiro with the shot and getting a piece of it. They do the wraparound, and Lou was late to the party, but luckily his teammate bailed him out as they tried to wrap it around on these lively boards, and they almost succeeded. Pass too hard to handle there for Raphael, and that's going to be icing. They'll bring it back with just 28 seconds left to go here in the second period. Well, the first 2 periods almost in the books here at the Halifax Forum. Third one should be a dandy, our last period of the day. Clean face-off win for the Blues, and a shot there. Didn't miss by much. And that one was Manning there for the Blues. Down to 15 seconds left to go in the period. Maybe one last dash here for the Hawks, led by Legier. He hits center ice. Manning picks his pocket. Millett now has it. Banks it in. Hawks happy to keep it in the neutral ice area. Clock winding down 1 second, and there's the horn to indicate the end of the second period. So the teams will go to the break here. And once again, the Hawks find themselves trailing after 30 minutes of play, but they're definitely playing a lot better than their game earlier against the Glace Bay Miners. And they're just one goal from making this even. And head coach there, Tyler Dixon, will talk it over with his troops here. And as they do that, we'll step aside. But first, a word from our sponsors. Third period back underway here at the Halifax Forum. 2-1 the score. Defending champions here of the Provincials, Bedford Blues, leading the host Halifax Hawks. My name is Dan Hobson. Last period of the day here, day number 1 of the championship. 7 games coming your way tomorrow. And it starts off with the Sydney Steelers taking on the Tassa Ducks at 8 a.m. It's going to be a busy day. And it's a really important game here for the Hawks. And they'd like to come away with the victory, but even if they can keep those goals 4 down, right now they've only gave up 4 in their loss to Glace Bay Miners to start the championships at 12 this afternoon, whatever. So if they keep those goals against down, they may be okay. They maybe go to the cellar, but of course if Sydney gets that second loss against those Ducks, which, I'm not here to say, picking winners and losers or anything, but if that comes to fruition, then they may jump up in the standings, but they are looking for the win. Most importantly, and a wrist shot there, and it had lots of speed on that one as it misses and sails over the net and towards the corner. Hawks back in their own zone. McMinn. Lead pass up ahead. Arnold had some time. End of shift for him. Sends it in and gets a change started here for the Halifax Hawks. So that's what the home team has really got to look at. If they can't win the game, at least keep it a 2-1 game or keep it as close as they can. But, of course, you're here to get victories. That's what helps you at championships. But, of course, the goals for have really helped the team so far today. West Hants Warriors got 7 in their win against the Sydney Steelers. Tassa had 6 against Pictou, and as a result, West Hants will have first place when the smoke clears at the end of day number 1 of the championships. The backhander by Jewett is stopped by Lou, because the way these teams are going in a 2-1 hockey game, for them to get first place, if they win, for a win, they have to score. Blues have to get 6 more, and the Hawks have to get 7 more. So a lot has to really really work in their advantage for something like that to happen. But we'll have to wait and see. But, of course, that's why they play the games here. So you should be in for a great third period as we come up to the 2-minute mark gone here. The Blues pressing here, trying to get some insurance here. Early stages. Ben Bishop now with some speed coming down the wing. Walsh blows a tire. Sharp angle shot. And with the fresh ice, comes right towards the middle of the ice area. And it's centered in the corner there by Legier in behind the goal. Bishop now back to the point there. And unable to handle that one was Emma McIntyre. So she'll have to go back in her own zone. And it's teed up there by Lou. And now Lou decides to play it towards the open corner. And the Blues come up with the puck. They try to walk out front there, and they can't get the shot. They did come out front there. It's a nice piece of work there by Amiro. I've been impressed by him. Of course, he's got no name. He's relatively new here to the lineup. 3 new changes to this Blues lineup, and one of them, Isaac Storm, got the first goal of the game there for the Blues. Chandler the other one, and Bursey for the Hawks. As I mentioned before, of course, maybe folks may be tuning in. This will be the 5th time these teams have met, regular season and playoff play. First time here at the championships. And this season series was split by both teams 2 apiece. Blues put it out front, but nobody there. Nobody on the doorstep, nobody home, whatever term you want to use. Amiro out front once again. And Buffett with a shot that doesn't get through as he got a wrister there from the point. Cameron Buffett, number 16 in the blue jersey for the Bedford Blues. And they come back out to center ice now. Ross of the Hawks, happy to dump it in. He was all by himself. And now the Blues will get the attack going. Up to center ice. They tried to slap it in. Second chance opportunity they finally do as Mathers will send it in. And he'll start a change for the Blues. Storm jumps over the bench. As I said, he got the scoring started here in this one there for the Bedford Blues as they lead this one 2-1 as we pass the 4-minute mark here in the third period. Arnold now had a man draped all over him, double teamed there, and did manage to get the puck towards the corner. Centering pass. Raphael can't pull the trigger there in tight. And now the Blues trying to get out. But it's not easy pickings for them as Arnold makes sure he steers McCarron back in behind the net. And now the Blues get something going in transition led by Emmanuel. And now Buffett with speed. Wrist shot, nothing on it. Actually, it's LeBlanc, pardon me. And it goes into the far side corner. And play is stopped. We have a penalty coming up. It's actually the near side corner. There's a slashing call. So, an Atlantic Acura power play coming up here for the Bedford Blues as the slash is going to Raphael. Atlantic Acura, the proud sponsor of power plays throughout the entire weekend here at the championships. Raphael going off for the slash. So a chance here for the Blues to get some insurance here in this one. 2-1 the score, really tight checking, but the score really doesn't really tell the story in this one. The teams went in there in the first period. Shot and a pad save as right there was Miller, and Lou up to the task, had to kick out the pad quickly. Just to say it was fast-paced up and down, but nothing much in terms of offense. But it is a low-scoring one so far, and it's lived up to its hype. Another shot there by Miller, and that's stopped by Lou, and most importantly, no rebound. There was a Blue in the doorstep area, but he smothers it for the stoppage. 40 seconds gone in the penalty there to Raphael, who's off for slashing. And he gets high fives afterwards. As we're coming up to the 5.5-minute mark here of the third period. And before the puck is dropped, the linesman is kicking Chandler out of the draw, so Emmanuel will jump in. Thank you very much. And take this draw against Merritt. Merritt will win it. Merritt has it. Trying to find the opening. Still can't get it out there for the Hawks. 1:10 left, and Raphael slashing penalty as the puck comes out to center ice area. McMinn as well as Wagner, Merritt, and McKinnon, the penalty killers here for the Hawks. Blues were driving, and this is going to be a two-man advantage. Yes, it is for 59 seconds. As the Blues had something going offensively, McKinnon will now go back to the box as he tripped the Blues player. Two-man advantage for 59 seconds. Could be your turning point here in this game, 2-1 game, and see if the Blues can capitalize on it. Two-man advantage. Another Atlantic Acura power play for the Blues. Triangle set up here by the Hawks. They're definitely keeping the Blues to the outside. 43 seconds left in the first penalty belonging to Raphael. McCarron with some room. Goes cross ice. They try to feather a pass. Brumet scores through the wickets of Lou. He gave it a whack, and Millet gave it the extra putt, if you want to use the golfing term, and got it through the legs. And it's a power play goal, 3-1. So it's a 5-on-4 now for 1:32, so Hawks still not out of the woods yet. But they really can't afford to get anything up. 15-minute period, and you got 8:34 left to go. You know, these 15-minute periods, they go by real quick. So you get down in a hole, makes it really hard to get back. Back come the Blues the other way. Chandler now. Nice little moves there. And Chandler will come out back to center ice area. Chandler's got some nice little handles and nice little carries there for the Blues. Blues organized just outside the blue, and now they finally get in. Here is Manning. Manning happy to send it to the corner. And Chandler there, a couple of whacks on the doorstep in the blue ice. And it ends up turning into bowling pins on a Saturday night at the Halifax Bowlicade, or whatever they have for a bowling area here, but in the meantime, play is stopped, and it remains a 2-goal deficit for the Hawks. 38 seconds left in the penalty to McKinnon, off for the trip. So you know things are going to change pretty well quickly. Once they kill these penalties, offense is what the Halifax Hawks have got to start to think about. So they may be giving up some 2-on-1s and maybe even breakaways. We'll see what happens here. Here's Miller now. Pass over to Miller and a stop by Lou. Post to post. No biggie there for Lou, and that's his best save of the tournament. And he gets applause here from the Halifax Forum faithful. And the coaching staff have a little bit of a happy look on their face. Of course, they're not happy with the way the results going, but Lou has been pretty good here these coming in here in these championships. He was supposed to be sitting on the bench, but he ended up coming into the first game of the day after they pulled Fury, giving up 3 goals in that first period. Albert pokes that away from the blue ice. The penalty winding down here for McKinnon, and the penalty is over. In the meantime, driving towards the net is Miller, and he goes down hard. He was looking for a call, and now one of the Hawks players is face down, and the Hawk bench is just livid with the official. The coach there really unhappy, has the door wide open, looking for a call, and the officials are going to gather out here at center ice and maybe say, what did you see? What did you, get together. But the coaching staff here, led by Tyler Dixon and Josh Arnold, not too pleased. And I didn't see what happened, but face down was one of the Hawks players, and I guess play will continue on, and now the official will make his way over to hostile territory, that being the Halifax Hawks bench. And once again, Tyler Dixon trying to explain his story here. Josh Arnold also over there. Thanks to Josh for getting the player information. And Tyler Dixon is just absolutely trying to explain his story. And I mean, here we are, we're at the Halifax Forum, a building that's known very well for keeping the door open during the good old days of Jim Bodley and the Halifax Olin Exports. As soon as play was stopped, the gate door went open. It almost just reminded me of deja vu all over again. Jim Bodley doing that. So no penalty on the call, and the Hawks are going to have to cool their jets just for the meantime. The 2-goal game now. The music was going a little bit longer than the play. Of course, a shot there by Arnold, and following up there right on the doorstep was McMinn, and now the Blues are sending 2 away. Pass too hot to handle for Evan Amiro. Amiro will go into the corner there, takes a light bump there from Wagner, Kinsey Wagner. Puck up for grabs there, and it's going to be the Hawks that come up with it. And now they're in transition, get it up the center ice. Nice little play there by Bell, and it's going to be offside as he does get it out. And the Hawks bring it back in, but they were a little bit too eager. 6 minutes and 15 seconds remain in this one here, Thursday night here from the Halifax Forum. As I mentioned, there's a lot of history in this building. Great sporting moments, not just hockey alone, but other, of course, events as well. And it used to be basketball championships. Of course, Neil Gordon is our producer, basketball fan, and has worked on basketball productions in the past. Might not have known that an AUS basketball championship was actually held in this arena. And they usually draw 5,000 to 6,000 for that when it's down the street at the Scotia Bank Center. So you could just imagine how comfy and how close to close. You know, that they say, get a little closer, how comfy and intimate that was watching championships here. Of course, as I talked about, the Maritime Junior A Hockey League is what it was called back then, and the Olin Exports, they were the talk of the town, and they were pretty well the sport that people would come to watch. But once the Halifax Mooseheads came to town, kind of was really the curtains there for the Maritime Hockey League, and Jim Bottomley and, of course, now, the team was the Halifax Warriors. This was years and years ago. Used to play at this building, and then they moved the team to Bridgewater, and they became, of course, the South Shore Lumberjacks. Be really nice to have a Maritime Hockey League back in Halifax, but I mean, the thing is, it's just going to be a tough crowd. This is a tough hockey market when you think of it. You've got the Mooseheads, you've got university hockey, you've got the major midget. Of course, with Cole Harbour Wolfpack doing well, Steel Subarus in the major midget, Major Bantam here. Just a real tough hockey market. But it'd be nice to see a team that's in a nice league use this arena as its home. And if you haven't been to the Halifax Forum, you got to come here, folks, because there's stories outside the hallways. I know there's pictures of, with, stories of the arenas or events that has been held, but, just to look at the history of this building, 40s, the 50s, and everything. It's just, you got to come and see it. As I said off the Twitter account, I'm not sure if people were with us this morning, was built back in 1927. So it is definitely a rink with a lot of memories, and some of these memories here trying to be forced and make new memories here by the players here at the Pee Wee Championships. Blues try to center it as we get back to the call here of this one with 4 minutes left to go here in the third period. Hawks send it down and start off a change. And now they'll bank it off the boards, and coming back, just getting there is McCarron there for the Blues. And they'll set it up to the far side boards, near side boards. Marquette picks it off, tries to center. And a nice little defensive work is holding his man up there was the Bedford Blues. Takes a funny bounce and gets behind players. Walworth falls up there for the Hawks. Here's Arnold now. Arnold, McKenna drive to the net. It keeps on going, gets an extra whack, but Albert stands tall for the meantime here for the Blues. And keeps it 3-1 with 3:18 left to go. Another centering pass as the Hawks are trying to press. 3 wide come the Blues back to center ice. They've got an empty net now as the goaltender's gone off for the extra attacker. Why not? Whether you lose by 2, 3, it doesn't really matter. They need to come away with a victory here with 2:55 left to go. All hands on deck here for the Hawks. 6 attackers. Puck down low. McKinnon tries to center it there. Raphael's got his shirt tucked in, but we know it's Raphael wearing number 10 out there in front. Maybe hoping to try to change the luck here of the Hawks. Hawks have 3 in behind the net, and they can't get a centering pass out front. The Blues just happy to bank it off the boards. A foot race. Blues player knocks his man down, and that was Sangster with a nice play, but couldn't get a shot at the open net to try to put this one on ice here for the Blues. Blues happy to get the center ice area with 2:14 left to go. Raphael once again, McKinnon. Now Arnold has it. Arnold all by himself. It was a little bit of a 2-on-2, but 3 Blues in the area defending well, and they'll come up with the puck, but they can't clear as holding the line was McMinn there for the Hawks. Blues will get another chance now. A little blow off there. It's forced wide. Couldn't get a shot as he was in the middle of the ice, and they sent him to the near side boards, and Blues just happy to flip it in. 100 seconds left to go. Lou, a watcher here the rest of the way. Blues have it outside the blue line. Aim for the empty net and get it. And scoring that one is Mathers. And that will do it for this one, 4-1. But the Hawks know they need to win, so they're still going to continue with, well, now as soon as I say that, Lou goes back to the net, and this is a good call here by the coaching staff here, the Halifax Hawks, because, yeah, you're going to come away with the loss, but you needed to do that, but you need to still protect your goals for. And right now, they gave up 4 in their loss to the Miners earlier this afternoon, and 4 in this one, so their goals against 8, not too bad when you think of it, when Tassa and West Hants got 6 and 7 respectively. So things have gotten quiet here at the Halifax Forum. Of course, the Hawks usually play out of the Centennial Arena just up there near Clayton Park. A nice building that they have a nice little office set up there, but they're playing their games here at the Forum. And we're delighted to be here for the championships. Under a minute to go here in the third period, and under a minute left of day number 1 of coverage of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships. So right now I could really put this one and say that West Hants Warriors, as a result of their 7-goal effort against the Sydney Steelers, 7-1 win for them in that one, have first placed. Tassa Ducks second with their 6-goal performance against Pictou. And right now in third place is the Glace Bay Miners. And the Blues will be in fourth as a result of goals for. So it could be a tiebreaker. So there you go. The goals for is one that determines the tie. So Blues and the Glace Bay Miners are going to be tied at third place with 4 goals for as they count things down here. We're done here on a Thursday night. The final score 4-1. Halifax Hawks go to defeat by the defending champion Bedford Blues. Hawks will go to 0-2. Bedford to 1-0. And with that, of course, the Hawks will go 0-2 and be in last place after day number 1 of the championships, even though they have a very good, better goals against in 2 games. The teams will do handshakes here at center ice. And then we'll have the players of the game presentation. And we'll tee up tomorrow. Well, we might as well tee up tomorrow so we can quickly get off. And starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the Tassa Ducks take on the Sydney Steelers at 8 o'clock. West Hants Warriors take on Halifax at 10. Pictou versus Bedford at 12. Followed by Glace Bay versus Sydney, the battle of the Cape Breton Leagues. That's at 2. Halifax and Tassa. Tassa will go at it once again at 4. West Hants and Pictou at 6, and 8 Bedford and Glace Bay. So we hope that you can join us for tomorrow. It's night. 7 games coming your way here from the Halifax Forum. So we're just waiting for the players of the game presentation. Lou gets the player of the game. He was stellar there. Was expected to be in a backup role, but he's been thrust into action, and he's looked pretty good, even though they're 0-2. Albert will get the player of the game. So the goaltenders are stars here in this one. 4-1 the final. Halifax Hawks go to defeat here thanks to the Bedford Blues. So for the entire 360 Live crew, my name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. So long from the Halifax Forum.